Should I try now?
I'm just changing it. You want
Acha,
the
okay.
host to be yes.
Yeah, now it'll work.
Okay,
I'm a
great.
host.
I don't know why that happened. Normally it happened
I
before.
think you have to have a host. Let me see. Can you see my
Hmm.
screen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll just run the presentation and just tell me a thumbs up if you can hear
Yep,
the
yep.
video.
We can see it. We can hear it.
No,
That's
no, I
great.
just want to play it to see if, okay, I'm
Right.
just playing it now.
Yeah, sometimes there's a little lag in the Wi-Fi. That's fine.
Yeah, all
Yep,
good?
that's fine. Yep, that's fine.
Okay, super.
It's
So
good
I
you
just
have a good Wi-Fi. Sometimes people don't have a good Wi-Fi.
No, Wi-Fi is not the problem. Sometimes what was happening on Zoom was when I was I think maybe that time I wasn't a host. It could be
Right.
because I wasn't able to see. They would.
I am from the combined company. We are the authorized representative of Brunel University London, and we have been assisting students for studying in the UK for the last 20 years. And I'm glad to have Ms. Shivani Balla, South Asia Manager.
Yeah,
Shivani,
I
am
head
I
South
right?
Asia.
Yeah.
I head South Asia for Brunel. Yes,
Oh,
that's right.
welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That's that's India, Sri Lanka,
Bangladesh, Nepal,
Bangladesh,
bit of
Nepal.
Mauritius. Yes,
Right,
yes.
wonderful. So that's wonderful. And Shivani is also an alumnus of Brunel University,
Absolutely.
and which is great. I had an opportunity to go there several years ago, and in the background you can see there's one of the campuses of Brunel University in the background. And thank you, Shivani, for taking the time, and we appreciate you're taking the time. And we have a range of students who had registered for the webinar. I guess during the course of the webinar, they'll come on and they have several questions which they had also put in whilst registering, so we can take that also at some
Sure,
point
sure,
of time.
absolutely.
Wonderful.
Thank you
Right,
so
thank
much.
you.
Thanks, Ranveer, and thank you to Combined Company. I think I must go ahead and admit the
Yep.
fact, and I always say this to everybody I talk to, that I think Combined Company was probably our first official
Right.
representation in India.
Right.
It's a
Probably
long,
that's right.
long, long association, and
Right.
I'm looking forward to a great session with all the wonderful students that joined in. So, most importantly, thank you guys for coming in today. We really appreciate you guys taking out the time in this terrible heat and this terrible pandemic. But I hope we're all able to learn something positive. And I will start with a brief presentation about Brunel, about what Brunel has to offer you, about as a university, what have we given back to the community as far as COVID is considered, and the most important question, how are we going to take the upcoming September intake and the January 2021 intake forward? Because your
Right.
future cannot wait and it shouldn't wait. So we will do our best to ensure that you have the most amazing academic experience as possible. So I'm going to
Right.
share my screen, guys. And of course, Ranveer and I would answer questions once we're done with the presentation. Thank you. Right. So obviously a warm welcome. I know it's terribly hot in most parts of India right now, and the obviously the entire aspect with this pandemic has taught us, I think, a lot of things, which we took for granted, and I think we should appreciate that. And we've got to spend wonderful time with our families. So I'll go ahead and start about Brunel. So Brunel obviously is a university based in London. We're a single campus university in the city of London. So you can see the aerial view of the campus right behind me. Our campus hosts from your accommodation, from your lecture center, from your library, from your sports facilities, from your subway, Starbucks, a nightclub, your accommodation, everything on campus. So anything that you may need, from a bank to a pharmacy to a doctor to a fruit and vegetable market to your grocery store, everything's available on this wonderful campus. And this was one of the very strong reasons I chose Brunel about 10 years back as well. So Brunel was founded in 1966. It is relatively a new university compared to all the others in the UK, like Oxford and Cambridge, which are more than 100 years old. So we're young, yet we're very forthcoming in terms of our research, also in terms of the courses that we offer. So largely, if you look at it, Brunel's, large mission, and even during the pandemic, has always been to benefit the community largely, not just through education, but also through research and knowledge transfer. One small example that I'd love to highlight here is Brunel, from the month of May, actually started a Get You Ready program and a postgrad gateway program. Now, what were these programs? All of you all, were off school or university for the last couple of months. So Brunel decided to offer a complimentary study skill oriented program, both at undergraduate and postgraduate level, to anyone who would want to take it. Could be from any part in the world, would have an offer, did not have an offer. It was open to the community. So I think that's probably the essence or the strength of Brunel as a university, that they believe more in transferring knowledge and increasing that reach rather than looking at short-term goals. I'm going to take a couple of minutes of your time to show and talk to you. Rather, I mean, it's going to summarize what Brunel is doing for the 2020 intake. And of course, if you have specific questions, I will answer them at the end. But I think this is a beautiful way for us to kind of, summarize it for you guys. So here we go. So this is a summary on how Brunel is going to take the next intake. I think it's quite self-explanatory. We're going to do everything in our power, in our ability to make sure that the campus is safe, secure for COVID. Social distancing is maintained. So of course, we are looking at a dual delivery model or a blended learning approach where you will have face-to-face lectures, but you will also have some lectures which are larger in nature to be taken online to adhere to social distancing, because your safety, your security, your health, your well-being is top priority for us. Oops, sorry, this doesn't need to go again. So that's our beautiful London campus. If you can see, there's obviously a range of accommodation, your lecture centers, your social activities, your football field, your gym. Like I said, everything on this one campus. This is 220 acres, guys. So it's huge. There's nothing like this in London, in the city of London. Of course, you have beautiful campuses across the UK, but not in London city. We're also surrounded by a lot of greenery, you can see. So it's among the student population loves this fact, because you're among obviously a campus, you're among more than 16,000 students, but at the same time, you've got access to a lot of green land and, breathing fresh air and having great quality of life around you. These are some of the rankings that we would like to obviously talk about. One is, of course, and I think this is my favorite one, because we are a university which is largely open to all students from all race, religion, countries, and having been ranked the 35th most international university in the world actually makes it a pride moment, not only for me as a member of staff, but also a member of the student community at Brunel, that we reach out and we look after our international students to the best of our ability. And the experience that we give them is like no other. Of course, we're very good from a mechanical engineering, business, marketing, management, education, sport, occupational therapy, art and design, computer science also we've done really well. So of course we've got a range of courses which we're brilliant at, and of course for the rest of ones where we're not in the top notch, we're working hard to get there. Like I said, so of course, you see your grocery store there, you see your union, you see obviously your library, your laboratories for working, depending on the course that you're studying. Of course, you see Usain Bolt, who often trains at the Brunel campus whenever he's in London. The library houses possibly everything you could imagine, from books, journals, your lab test results for technical courses, medical oriented courses, everything. We have a very interesting and a happy scheme. It's called the Brunel Buddy Scheme. And why I call it the happy scheme is because a lot of us would be leaving home for the first time in their life. Now, you're going to a country which you've maybe never been before, or you've only been there as a tourist. So what do we do in return to you? To welcome you, you've got a Brunel Buddy that's assigned to you from the day one itself, from the time that you arrive at Heathrow Airport. Now, they're responsible, obviously, for getting you from the airport to your campus accommodation, help you check in, and they're your to-go person till you haven't made friends in the larger community at the university. So I love it, and that's why I call it a happy scheme. This year, however, we're considering this, so I mean, don't quote me because work is still going on. We are planning to charter flights for Indian students along with a couple of other London universities, so we can kind of give you a safe, flying journey, get you onto Heathrow Airport, and then obviously Brunel will send buses to pick all of you all up, put you guys into a 14-day quarantine option if that's required, and that's going to be at the university's cost on campus itself in accommodations. You don't have to go anywhere else. So all the details, guys, like I said, has been working out. Brunel's going to do its best to ensure your health, safety, and well-being, as that's top priority, like I said before as well. We do offer an international excellence scholarship, guys. When I say excellence, of course, it is purely based on academic excellence. So depending on what you have scored in your bachelor's or in your master's, if you come from, bachelor's or your class 12 result, you could be eligible for the scholarship. Apart from that, we also have an alumni scholarship, which is 15% of the tuition fee. We also have a separate scholarship for MBA students, which is £6,500, and that's through a telephonic interview round. Once you qualify for an offer, you can apply for the scholarship as well. We guarantee accommodation on campus, and the best part is we guarantee accommodation for all years of study. So we have 4,500 self-catering rooms on campus. They are among ensuite, standard, and studio flats. Studio flats are more for couples, and ensuite standard is for single students. As long as you apply by 31st of August in typical years, but this year we extended that to 7th of September. As long as you apply within those dates, you will get guaranteed accommodation on campus. We will also take care if you want to take your same room and same accommodation during the summer break. So you don't have to, vacate out your room. Or if you're a 3-year undergraduate student, you can stay for all years on campus in the same room without having the hassle of moving about again and again. Obviously, the London factor, a very, I would say a very attractive feature. We are located in the west part of London. So we're about 15 minutes from Heathrow Airport and about 20 minutes from the Uxbridge Town Centre and 45 minutes from central London via the Metropolitan line. So you've got London at your doorstep literally, but yet you have the green area, you have the space, you have the accommodation, you have your entire culture within the campus itself. So you want to go to London, you're more than welcome to do that, but you've got everything that you need on the campus as well. Very important aspect for all international or home students is their careers. And now I think it's it's the perfect timing really that the UK has announced the post-study work visa, or they call it the GIR, which is a graduate immigration route, which means any student graduating in the UK after September 20, in the summer of 2021 will be eligible for the 2-year post-study work visa, which means you can stay back in the UK for 2 years without having to worry whether you have a job in hand, whether you have a business in hand. You could automatically just get that extension while in the UK itself. They've also newly introduced the rule that, let's say, due to the blended learning or due to dual delivery, if you're unable to travel to the UK for the first couple of months, as long as you arrive in the UK by 6th of April 2021, you will be eligible for the GIR. Our Professional Development Center will not only help you with part-time jobs through the job shop, for your full-time jobs through our Career Center, but also a range of our undergraduate and postgraduate courses offer placement year options. We also have a graduate school which is related to the Brunel Innovation Hub. So let's say if you have a business plan that you intend to start in the UK, through our grad school program, they will help you set up the business and also fund you and get you on the Tier 5 entrepreneur visa. We also have an employer section, which is we've got more than about 300 companies listed on our employer section. We've obviously got the big names like Barclays, Accenture, HSBC, GSK, Jaguar, Land Rover, IBM. Also, we have mid and small size organizations that are looking for great talent from Brunel, from across various disciplines. You could, of course, work part-time on campus or off campus for 20 hours per week as an international student during term time, and full-time during your summer vacations. All support and help for this would be given to you through our job shop. This is something which is very inspirational to me. I have been working, I studied at Brunel in 2008 to 2010. I did my master's in corporate brand management. I also got the wonderful opportunity to work on campus as an international student in the alumni office. And that's when my relationship really with Brunel started. So it's been more than 10 years. I've been working now with the university. This is going to be my 10th year, August this year. This video that I'm going to share with you truly made me feel very inspired, very motivated, and extremely grateful that I work for a university which is going to change lives and has changed lives of people during an absolutely terrible time that we all have seen globally. So this is the last bit, guys, and we're obviously going to open for questions. So here we go. Like I said, guys, to be honest, for me, this was truly inspirational, and I think I felt really moved, to see how much as a university we gave back to the community. In fact, we've got 4,500 rooms on campus. We have 1,300 students still living in those rooms. The rest of the rooms we volunteered for NHS staff so that they don't have to go back home. And kind of infect their families, which may be vulnerable or maybe old or must be young kids. So we gave them space to stay on campus because Brunel is very strategically located to multiple hospitals, in and around London, the nearest one being a 5-minute walk. So it feels extremely proud. It feels extremely, lovely to see that we will beat the pandemic. And I think somewhere, as far as the UK is considered, has beaten it. The virus threat level was at started at 5, then came down to 4, and now it's at 3. So obviously, the government, support staff, NHS, health volunteers have all helped us make this happen. So yeah, we would be absolutely looking forward to welcome all you wonderful students at Brunel, and we are ready for questions. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope it was not boring.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much, Shivani. I think that was very useful. I think it's useful, as you mentioned, to give an update on the opening and relaxations which are happening in the UK, because obviously that's on everyone's mind, including people who have made applications, holding offers, and the ones who are still considering. And
Yes.
as you mentioned, they have made relaxations, and I think the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has said July 4th there is a further easing of restrictions
Yes.
across the UK.
Yeah, the first relaxation was to open up primary schools
Right.
to see how that plays along. It was successful. The cases were still on the downward trend.
Right.
And then the second was allowing people who were living alone all this while to be able to meet other
To
members
meet.
of different families. So obviously they are doing it step by step. A couple of my friends who were in London, they went shopping.
Right.
So it's obviously baby steps, but I think that's good.
Sure.
And they have the NHS track and trace app, I think, has truly helped in that,
Right.
because obviously we have an Indian version of it, but I think the only thing which I feel lacks in the Indian version is I don't know where those people are. The
Right.
track and trace app actually will be able to tell you, if Ranveer and I are standing there and another third person's there, if we
Right.
are having any
Right.
symptoms, it'll even give you the location if you're far away. So it's actually helped them cope up with it
Right.
as a country. And like I said, I think they'll be obviously one of the first few organizations with Oxford University came up with the vaccine, which has successfully worked to curb the death rates. Obviously it's not a vaccine which can stop you from the virus, but it helps you with breathing, it helps you with reducing the mortality rate. So
Right.
they're on it, they're absolutely on it. And I think
Right.
strong research behind the UK and the education system is helping it support that. That all
Right. Right.
universities are doing.
Right. I think it'd be useful. You didn't mention in your video, just to recap the courses which are being delivered in September intake and the ones which in Jan. I think that'll be useful,
It's
just
it's a pretty
for
long list,
students.
but
Oh, it's
yeah,
for okay.
it's a pretty long list,
Okay.
but I'll try to
Okay.
summarize it easily.
Okay. Yeah. Please.
So obviously we're still open for September for most of the courses,
Right.
except three programs that we have deferred to January only. Is international journalism, media and communication, and media and PR.
Okay.
The rest of the courses, ranging from all our business courses at postgraduate level, so MSc Management, MSc Marketing, Digital Design and Branding, Finance and Accounting, Business Finance, Engineering Management, Sustainability and Development. So there's a lot of courses. You have an option
Right.
either to start in September or in January. You've got both options
Okay.
open. There is
Okay.
a link, I'll put it across here as well, so everyone
Sure.
can put
Sure.
it. And
Sure.
undergraduate courses again will have a September start, as well as in the four sections. So economics and finance, psychology, business management, and computer science will also have a January start through our Pathway College, which is Brunel
Yes.
Pathway College. They will
Right.
run it for us. It will be a Brunel degree, but they will help run it for us, and you will finish the 12-month program in that case in 9 months. So you can start
Right.
your year 2 as normal in
Right.
September.
So students are given the option once they have an offer to join
Yeah, you
either
can.
in
Yes,
September
yes,
or Jan. Is it? All
absolutely.
right.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll put up the links so you guys
Sure.
can
Sure.
have an offer. You can fill up the
Sure.
details and see
Sure.
that.
Sure. That's always useful. I know it's on your website. If you search for it,
Yeah,
it
no,
does
I'll just put it across. It's not a problem.
it does come.
Yep, right here.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, study 2020 changes. Right. Right. So
Okay,
we
I think we
can.
need two questions
Yeah,
coming
we
in.
can. So they haven't mentioned the names. If you can put your name, that would be useful. Regarding scholarships and financial aid, if you have any specific cost related.
I can round up the scholarship
Okay.
because it's
All
pretty
right. I
general.
think
So
that's
the
right.
International Excellence Scholarship, guys, is basically £6,000 per year if you're doing an undergraduate program with us. But the
Right.
minimum you should have scored in your grade 12 should be 85%.
Right.
It's a pretty simple form that you need to fill out. The application is still open till 30th of June. I will share the link of that here as well.
Sure.
At postgraduate level, because most of our taught part of the course is for 1 year, again, the value of the scholarship is £6,000 based on academic merit. So if you're belonging from any undergraduate university provider in India, you should have had an aggregate of at least 75% to make it to the round 1. And then, of course, depending on your overall application, your references, your statement of purpose, you would be further assessed on the same. So that's how we work for the scholarship. Again, like I said, deadline is open till 30th of June to apply. If you have an offer, you can apply with us up till 30th of June. The UK really doesn't do financial aid. I think that's more a US thing.
Right.
So I'm sorry, I won't be able to help you with that. I think the next question is more about eligibility and exams. I think if we could be more specific, whoever's asked this question, but I could, of course, round it up for you. Brunel as a university has decided to be very conscious of the fact that, we understand all of you all may be in a situation where for example, now your exams are not happening, what's going to happen? We promise to be as flexible and as friendly as we can as far as our entry requirements are considered. So maybe if our entry requirement, let's say is 70%, but you're borderline, 65, 66, we'll definitely consider that. I think this year, apart from MBA and some of the health courses, we have waived off the requirement for letters of recommendation as well, because we understand it may be difficult to get, such things during the pandemic. We've
Right.
got lots of options as far as your IELTS is considered. So if you're from a CBSE, ISC, or a Maharashtra board, and if you have above 70% in your English, your IELTS would be waived off. If you're from a state board, which is Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, AP, Telangana, West Bengal, then you need to have scored 80% above, and your IELTS would be waived off. Apart from that, if you're from another board, if you don't have the requisite grades, you could take the IELTS indicator, you could take the TOEFL IBT, you could take up the password test, and Brunel has its very own free English language test as well that you could sign up for as long as you're an offer holder.
Right. Fine. I think you have the control. We can go by the students one by one.
Yeah.
Since actually you have the control, we can start from the top.
Sure.
Since you can see the ends.
Okay.
We can ask. I'll just ask Ashi Tiwari if you have any questions. You're for MSc Data Science. Hi, Ashi.
Ashi, you're on mute.
Yeah. Hi. No questions as of now. I'll definitely drop in if I have something. Thank you so much.
Okay. Sounds great. Take care. Stay safe then.
All right. Benson Johannen is, if you have any question, Benson, regarding bachelor's in data science or physics.
Not currently. I'm sorry, but
okay. You're looking for next year? Fine. We'll just go through the people.
Yeah, we give everyone a fair chance.
Yeah, Bijender Dubey for Masters in Engineering Management. Hi, Bijender. Hi, Bijender.
I think Bijender, you're on mute if you're trying to talk.
Yeah, maybe he's not aware he's been muted. Okay.
Okay, we've got a question meanwhile while we can wait for Bijendra.
Yeah.
Harshali, thanks for your question. So if a student has received a scholarship in September 2020 and you intend to defer to, let's say, the Jan 2021 intake, we are strongly considering to defer your scholarship. I don't have a final yes or a no yet, but yes, we will surely consider to defer it. If it's for September 2021, then there'll be a fresh application because the scholarship pool changes year on year. So I hope that answers your question.
Sure.
Okay, we'll try.
She's. I think she wants to. Okay, so you mentioned live. Fine. So I think Shresh Gupta has mentioned in the chat, keen for undergraduate course in computer science. What is the CBSE cutoff?
So obviously we would typically look at about 75%, but looking at the current situation, I think we will be flexible till about 70% as well. If you, like I said, if you get borderline marks because of this, situation that's been come up by CBSE and ISE yesterday, happy to consider it. Let us know what your grades come out to be, and if you are slightly even borderline, we'll happy to consider it. No problem.
Right.
I think Devendra was the next. I'll just put him on.
Yeah.
Hi Devendra. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hi Devendra. Not sure if I have his query. I think he joined a little bit later. I don't have his query with me.
Hi Harshali, we got your question, which was very good. But of course, do you have any other questions? You can always ask now.
Yeah. Okay. We can.
No more questions. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Harshali. Thank you.
Mahargya Basu. She had. Let me just look at my list. She for masters. She didn't mention for which subject. She's in Pune. Hi Mahargya. If you have any question, this is a chance for you to inquire with Brunel.
Let me allow her.
Oh, yeah. Right. Hi, Marga.
Hi. Hey. No questions as of now.
No, is it okay? You didn't mention for which course. You said masters.
Masters in management. Yeah.
Masters in management for next year, is it, or this year?
Next year.
Next year. Okay.
Just to update you, we offer the MSc management into 3 options actually. So one is, of course, you can choose between September or January each year. Second, you either have a plain 1-year program or you can take a 2-year program which has a 1-year work placement as well.
Right.
just giving you a heads up on that.
Right.
Benson had a question. Do we offer a BSc Physics? No, unfortunately not, Benson. We do not have a BSc Physics. I'm really sorry to disappoint you.
Or data science, which was his other in his query.
At undergraduate level, you'll
undergraduate.
you'll probably get BSc
computer science.
Computer science with various
specializations.
Science. Yes,
right,
that's right.
Right. All right. Fine. I think you have a list also of all the programs which are with work placement and without. Which we
at undergraduate level, mostly all our courses.
All of them. And I think about 10, 15 master's courses with placement. I think we'll send out the list to everyone. Which is in your presentation.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's just go to Shalab Nigam.
Shalab, how will the part-time job scenario be? I had a chat with the placement. That's a very good question, Shalab, actually, because I think a lot of students want that experience, and I think it's very important to get part-time experience while you're studying. Shalab, recently I was chatting with the job shop director at Brunel, and he was telling me, suddenly there was like a complete slowdown of part-time jobs, but now the UK opening up again, the demand of part-time jobs is back. So again, it depends what kind of a part-time job you want and what kind of an experience you require. But I would say part-time jobs will be back in action. In fact, yesterday we advertised for a part-time job that was required for Barclays Bank. So they're all available. Of course, slowly, the economy will get back to normal.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, we answered Shresh's question, right?
Yes.
So again, overall percent for CBSE students will vary on the course. I think computer science was your choice, so that would be 75 in normal times, but this time we will be flexible. For some mechanical engineering courses, it could be about 80%. Again, we will be flexible this year. So let your results come through, and probably then we'll take a collective decision of how flexible we could get as far as the grades are considered.
Right.
Another
question regarding any alternative to IELTS for CBSE passed out?
Yeah, sure. So if you have CBSE, if you have more than 70%, then you do not need the IELTS. I'm sorry if it wasn't clear earlier. If it's less than 70%, if it's 69, we'll still consider you. If it's less than 69, then you could take either the Brunel English language test, which is absolutely free of charge for offer holders, or you could take the IELTS indicator, the TOEFL IBT, the PTE, the password test, the Duolingo. Lots of options.
So quite a few alternatives.
Yeah, lots of options. From the comfort of your home. We don't want you to stress out and go out anywhere.
And this is for which course? He's not mentioned, because not mentioned is.
This is generally.
This is all for all of them, is it?
Yes.
All right.
See, as a university, guys, we understand we are imparting education, and a public university's responsibility is to enhance your power of studying. So we will do, like I said, we will do anything we can to make it easier for you guys this year. Archie has a question. Could you please brief us about the application process? Archie, the application process is very simple. As long as you have all your academic documents with you. Ranveer and his team are very talented to sort it out. It's all online, and we have strengthened the process and made it faster. So we try to get back to you with an update on your application within 48 to 72 hours. The entire admissions team is working from home, and I think they've adapted that absolutely beautifully. So I'm actually happy that the admissions team are working from home. They're working faster. So as long as you have, of course, your statement of purpose, your academic documents, a copy of your passport, a copy of your CV, if it's for a postgraduate course, LORs, if it's for an MBA, if not an MBA, we can skip the LORs. You're good to go. No problem.
Right. And are application decisions made by your team in India, or
no, we have an admissions team which is centrally based, and all of them are working from home at the moment. But in case any borderline issues, obviously they come back to us. As we understand the local-based aspect of the market.
Right. Okay. So I think we're pretty much exhausted. I think another one just come.
No, we've got another one. Good question, Maragya. How much is the impact of past experience on postgrad courses? Is the LOR all mostly for management courses? Maragya, if you're looking for an MBA program, yes, it'd be great to have work experience and minimum 3 years. Because Brunel MBA is AMBA accredited, which means we require minimum 3 years work after your bachelor's. If you're looking at the MSc Management, for example, it's not a prerequisite for a work experience. However, previous surveys tell us students who've come onto the MSc Management, especially the placement year option, which is a complimentary year that you get without paying any tuition fee for your placement, those guys have secured placements faster because of having previous experience. So if you've got experience, and if it's at least 1 year, brilliant.
Right.
all of you have asked. I mean, amazing questions. Very impressive, I must
pretty
say.
much, we
I
pretty
think
much covered everyone.
I
I think
suppose so.
Benson, I think Benson answered, also on online.
I see
All
Rashmi.
right.
Is Rashmi from
Yeah,
your team?
Rashmi is, she's one of our counselors.
All right.
Yeah. So I think everyone else has been covered as far as we know. I think it's just useful if there's anything in terms of, I guess overall in terms of the intake and as you mentioned, the applications, which you want to just recap.
Yeah.
So that I know there has been uncertainty in the past, but we have had, as you have also attended the UKVI calls with Harry Booty.
Yeah.
Visa application centers are expected to open by end of June,
yes.
early July, depending upon which city. Obviously, Mumbai may be slightly slower if you're looking maybe compared to perhaps Kolkata or any other city. So the application centers are meant to be open, and I think CASs will start to be issued
we just had
from
an
July onwards, is it?
Yesterday that on 15 July onwards, we will be issuing CAS for additional offer for holders.
Right.
Now, since yesterday, that's got a very positive impact and students have just kind of gotten around meeting all their conditions.
Right.
Of course, we understand, guys, and this is something I want to reiterate. We understand that it's a difficult situation in various aspects, your results, even putting your deposit down because you may have a financial strain. Please, I want to reiterate the fact there's no pressure on anything. We understand, we empathize with you. If you need an extension on any sort of a deadline, even if it's a deposit deadline, we will give it to you. We'll secure your seat for you. So please don't panic about it at all. Do not put any pressure on your parents. If you're comfortably able to secure your seat with the deposit, great. If not, it's with you. So don't worry about that, please.
Right.
No LLB specific scholarships, Leila. Our scholarships are international excellence scholarships, so they are open to all students. During clearing, yes, we may have an international undergraduate clearing scholarship, which last year was typically £3,000 per year. However, this more details for this we will have after 15th of July, so we'll keep you posted on that.
Right.
Okay, I think that's the question.
I think that's been useful. I think we've covered pretty much the main points, which was the main queries that we had.
Yeah.
And we will continue
any queries that we missed out? Anything which is still...
I think by and large, these are the ones which...
I want to also explain one more thing because I know this is a concern for a couple of students, and obviously at the moment for the September intake, we've got more than 115 deposits, and parents obviously have that worry. What if they can't travel? What if... So Brunel's introduced 100% refund policy with no questions asked.
Right.
Let's say you paid a deposit because you feel okay, you want to start your course in September. You suddenly feel, I do not want to travel at all. You do not want to come to the UK. You do not want to study. Your deposit is 100% refundable without deducting anything. We've never deducted anything, but we this year opened it to anyone who wants a refund. So I would say if you are keen to start your academic journey, this is a good time to do that because employment opportunities will come up slowly. So it's better to upskill yourself or reskill yourself if you've already got some. So it's a perfect time to do that. If you're academically brilliant, great time to get scholarships. And I think we will surely, all of us, not just in India or in the UK, but I think the world, we will beat this horrible virus. We will come out from it, and when we come out from it, we must realize everyone in the world would need talented people like yourselves. So this is the best time to, like I said, upscale it. So go for it and choose a course which is critical to growth. I know a lot of students would earlier tell me, shall we do marketing? And I was like, why not pick up digital marketing? $1 million businesses today have thrived and survived and made money because of digital marketers. So this is one example. Health health experts are doing brilliantly well. Psychologists are doing brilliantly well. Business people are looking at forming essential service groups across the board. So there's a lot of opportunity. Engineering people have been working so hard. Logistics, supply chain. If none of these guys or experts would be there, we couldn't have passed pandemic, you know, the last 3.5 months, as far as our essentials, medicines, everything was considered. So pick subjects or topics or courses, keeping these things in mind. The banking industry is something which is you may feel today, you know, today is not the right time to be in it, but in the future, any country can only come up, including India, if the economy is strong, and the economy will only be strong if the financial sector is strong. So let's use our common sense and let's make a choice where, you know, we've got a critical specialization rather than, you know, something which is generically. Another popular option I'm seeing with a lot of students considering in data science or engineers now doing a management degree.
Right.
Because organizations are looking at the right blend of analytical skills with a business smart person, you know, who can get the bucks in. So lots of options, lots of courses. UK has always been a very strong country for supporting research, education, academia. So make use of that, guys.
Right. I think these are all very valid points. Choose specializations in order to get skilled, especially for job employment and career prospects. I think that helps a lot. Great. I think that's been very useful. We will continue to follow up with the students who had also inquired.
Any support for any student, and this is a special extension for combined company because as we've been old partners, I do realize, and I think it's worked really well. A lot of parents have queries, you know, and they feel shy in coming on an open panel.
Right.
So some parents actually emailed me in the last 3 weeks to say, can we have a one-on-one Zoom session? You know, just a counselor, just a parent.
Yes, I think sometimes that also helps.
Yeah, it really helps because it actually puts their worries to ease. So, you know, I think that'll be a good idea if in case anyone needs that support.
Sure.
Yeah.
And in terms of applications and scholarships, deadlines, you said it's 30th June, is it?
The scholarship deadline is 30th of June. And
for which, sorry, you need to be holding an application or have already just need to be an offer holder. All right.
Yes, you need to be an offer holder, and you could apply to us up till 31st of July.
Okay. All right. Okay. Great.
Lovely to talk to all of you. Thank you so much for the wonderful questions. I wish everyone all the very best. But most importantly, please remember, stay safe, stay home, stay indoors, and crack on with your results.
Right.
And I'm sure you all will do brilliantly well wherever you go.
Yes. Wonderful. Thank you for your time, Shivani, and we'll be in touch with you for further follow-ups.
Anytime. Take care. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.